Poem number 1. Celebrate how Europeans stepped off every wood line, sea line, mountain ridge and valley line, and fenced them as their own. Celebrate how los indios waved with children in their arms, and how the captain shot them. Celebrate the treaty of peace Europeans signed, only to rise at midnight and slaughter the sleeping warriors. Celebrate how pioneers stripped thousand-year-old forests to build Philadelphia and Boston. How they excluded Indios from fish in the streams, and how water flowed into slave plantations and fields of the wealthy. Celebrate how Columbus wondered at the clean waters and air and fowl, and animals their hungers would feast on. Celebrate the land subdivided for exclusive estates, and how millions of human beings became landless and infected and were slaughtered. How centuries of deep coexistence with Mother Earth was scoffed at and smudged out in the ashes and the bullets and the swords of Europeans. Let us celebrate the town meetings to hang Indios. Let us celebrate the political decisions to exile Latinos from Turtle Island. Let us celebrate Columbus's arrival and how all the holy names were changed to accommodate the thick ox tongue of muttering Europeans. Let us celebrate how all the paintings depicted Indios as savages killing and drinking the blood of white-haired children. Celebrate the development of banks on hunting grounds and carriages gilded and silked bearing pompous Dutch royalty through the crisp streets, and Spanish women wearing safari jackets setting up their easels beside fishing streams to paint their Georgetown mansions. Celebrate how death was entertainment. Holy relics of feathers and drums and talismans became table decor and circus spectacles. Celebrate chained and guarded houses for open meadow teepees. Celebrate the beaver gloves and hats, performance stables with horses with braided manes, and Indios' scalps and skins nailed to the barn rafters. Celebrate the unspeakable crimes of lawyers, drafting laws to rob ancestral lands. Celebrate all their accountants sore-eyed at midnight, under reading lamps tirelessly counting endless stacks of criminal money. Celebrate the landscaped European gardens. God, in every bush a Latino pruned. God, in every glint of sterling dinnerware a Chicano polished. God, in every sheet an Indio washed. Celebrate the spirit broken and the body abused beyond recognition. Let Si Señor slurp off our tongues to the patronizing bullshit. Let us smile at the pitying glances. Let us celebrate the rape of our women. Let us be devoured by their contempt. Let us saintfully give ourselves to the mob to be burned and hung. Let us wear yokes around our necks. Let us parade all the imprisoned and all drive carts heaped with all the dead birds through Washington. Let us compose elaborate symphonies and marching bands through Virginia's tobacco fields with thousands of slaves. Let us stand at the shores of every ocean and lake and stream and sing the glory of killing and murder beyond comprehension. Come, let us celebrate the churches that accused us of being devils. Celebrate the burning of our sweat lodges and eagle and herbal medicines. Celebrate all the lies in books, how we were heathens with no songs or culture. Celebrate the empty mountains in the valleys. Celebrate how the once hip-high grass of the plains is now ankle-high crusty scrub millionaire cattlemen own. Celebrate that America has not acknowledged its terrible crimes of having done what we accuse it of. Celebrate the pardon of white-collar thieves and murderers by presidents. Not by me, society, or God. Celebrate the devastating, willful tragedy of corporate greed. The willfulness of racists decrying no racism. The willfulness of torturers decrying no torture. The willfulness of supporters of the quincentennial and all the other centennials decrying it was all roses and blessings. Let us celebrate the frontier adventurer, marauding Mexican families and taking their homes. Celebrate the courageous Daniel Boone trapper purposely betraying and cowardly lying. Celebrate the gluttons who triumphed through treachery and murder in broad daylight, destroying all who were different. Celebrate the portrayals of God's chosen people as a people who never harmed an ant. Celebrate in Santa Fe the pure-blood Spanish romantic idea that they were heroes. Celebrate the madness of historical oppression in San Antonio with reigning queens and mariachi music and mayoral speeches. Celebrate in Los Angeles the agony of millions with confetti and whoopla fanfare and awards to Hispanics, with foundations giving millions to create parades in hundreds of cities. Let us celebrate our own death, our own oppression. Let us take solemn vows that nothing bad ever happened, that Columbus brought only enlightenment and baptized us, and we became God's innocent, beautiful children. Let us believe there was no sorrow. Let us commemorate the hate and the contempt for us they brought. Let us celebrate their scorn. Let us celebrate this play written in grants and announced in every city, in all the theaters, how they loved us and let us live peacefully in our lands, how act after act and scene after scene depicts them sharing food and song with us, how not one of us ever has encountered vengeance, how Columbus brought in scene 1 flowers and love from Europe, how in scene 2 the play tells how his men humbled themselves in our homes and respected us, how in scene 3 shows pure friendship, no hate or fear, portrays how they cared for us and how life was filled with joy. Let us celebrate this with despair in our hearts and blindfolds over our eyes. Celebrate the denial of Indio slaves to the highest bidder. Celebrate how we were leered at and spit at in every town. Celebrate how we starved and how our Mexican Chicano children became silent. Celebrate our infant mortality rate and our alcoholism and our drug addiction. Celebrate the despair and the unremitting depression of our people. Celebrate how everyone agrees with everyone else. Celebrate how we grieve and celebrate each sharp sword tip stained with our mother's blood. Celebrate each pencil and ink quill filled with lies. Celebrate doors closed to us from fear and celebrate the glassy eyes that stare at us. Celebrate each dagger that plunged into trusting brothers and sisters' hearts. Celebrate the false piety and the false modesty of investors who thrive on our sadness and love. Celebrate this long, bloody genocide with bottles of Coors beer and Gallo wines. And quench the thirsty throats of racketeers, so they may have strength to fill every American street, dancing over our bones. Let us celebrate the quincentennial of Columbus's arrival, of the Dutch, of the Portuguese. And let us not taste the bitterness, not recognize their insatiable appetite for more blood, more land, more money, more power. Nay, let us rise in every quarter of the country on platforms and give testimonials on how we must hate ourselves and how we must teach our children to be ashamed of their past. Let us teach ourselves to forget our drums and our songs and stand in every classroom to praise the Star-Spangled Banner. Let us kiss bullets that bring peace to us. Let us love our poverty and be fearful of speaking our native language in public. Let us bear our pain in silence and bow before the perpetrators. Let us call each other rabble-rousers who dare speak up. Let us turn our heads from each other and try to be white Americans. Let us kill each other drunkenly and drip with blood. Let us give our homes to the banks and the bail bondsmen and the cemeteries. Let us christen ourselves and humbly accept our ruler's divine law. Let us pray we remain cowards, with no honor. Let us forget this poem and walk out tonight, leaving our children without fathers or mothers or homes or history or culture. And let us celebrate Columbus's arrival.